They brought me like and slide out cell, brother.
Alright, cool. Thanks for the vibe, though. I appreciate that for real, boy.
Not good, dog.
Let me know when you jam and park and thing, dog, because I need one little park, you know? One little park crew.
Yeah, man. We can do that.
We just gotta find one solid big man.
Park.
I can look for one, and then, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Get everyone over here and get started. Get what we need to do.
Thomas. Oh, alright.
podcasts you love, like us, and future favorites. If you're a podcaster or a fan, Himalaya has got you back. Discover a personally curated playlist and show your favorite podcast with Himalaya's tip jar. It's free, it's the easiest to use, and they're adding cool new features every single day. And you can get the No Chill podcast early, exclusively on Himalaya. So go to the App Store and download Himalaya. Himalaya. Don't forget to follow the No Chill podcast, because you probably already are. If not, start now. Believe me, you will. On this episode of the No Chill podcast, Dwight Howard stops by. Took some time to get the big guy in the studio, but as you'll find out, it's well worth the wait. While Gil and Dwight were teammates in Orlando, their friendship started way before them. Now in DC, Dwight is getting back 100% and ready to move for MC. But in the meantime, we get into the complications of having to grow up fast in the NBA. You're not told about money, authority, and how to handle it. For a guy that was literally expected to be Superman, he details everything that was thrown at him and how it made him now. Also, look out for who Dwight says is the best player ever. Actually, an answer you might not expect. It's an especially entertaining episode of the No Chill podcast, so let's get right into it. Remember, you get every episode a day early on the Himalaya app. If you haven't already, subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, along with the No Chill channel on YouTube. So, Gil, we have Dwight here. It's been a long time in the works, just say that.
Yeah. You know, I've been with him, for a while now.
Yeah, that's why I want to pick it up. Okay?
I've known him for a while now.
Known him for a while.
So I know when Flakes is coming in,
Well, we're not calling you that, Dwight.
No,
Just a busy year.
No, yeah, you
Schedule.
I mean, during the season, I knew it was going to be impossible. So you got to wait till he has like this whole meeting set up, and then you're trying to fit in right there. If you think you're just going to get him alone, you're like,
Dwight, what's your side of the story?
My side of the story, it ain't my fault. I was trying to get here, man. I couldn't do it. But I'm here.
You know what it is? LA people come, they don't stay very long. Like Vegas, right? A day or two, they're out. Yeah, in and out. But I want to go back to the first time that you guys were on the same team, that first day. Practice session.
No. Technically, we was USA team.
Okay.
And that's not really, I was like, man, I really like him. Because I'm watching him destroy every player. That everybody talks about. The Kobe, LeBrons, killing these guys. But nobody wanted, to talk about how good he was. So I was like, man, I hate that. Like, I like him. I think he's just as good as these other guys. And he came back next season because we was in Korea. And they got rid of him. They sent him home. Like, they could have told him at home he wasn't going to make the team.
I came all this way.
You wasted my goddamn
Like, that's a long flight to tell somebody, all right, that's it. Like, what? So I was upset about that myself, and I'm not even him. So I guess that's where
so funny. This is a funny story. I remember I don't know where we're trying to go, but it's like, yo, go get the wife. So I'm knocking on the wife's door. Yo, where you at? He has his laptop, and I guess that's when the shake dance came out. He's sitting there in a full sweat, dancing, trying to get the dance right, and I'm like, yo, I thought I was the only one that did this. I thought I was the only one who sat there and danced all day in the mirror trying to perfect that shit. And then when I see Dwight do it, like full sweat, doing a lean with it, block with it,
You're right.
Because I used to do the clown walk and the crip walk in the bathroom, in the mirror, with the music on, and just sit there for hours.
Right, you experiment because you don't know if you actually pull that
Yeah,
off.
you actually don't know if you're good enough to go to the club. So when you do eventually get there, you can pop in and feel it.
Yeah, my experience is never actually. Yeah.
The sprinkler.
Yeah, I still got that shopping cart.
Yeah.
Remember that? You know that, right?
No.
Am I alone on that?
Oh,
Shopping
yeah.
cart, that's
New white man.
Yeah. No, we white guys, we had that for a long time.
Okay.
Shopping.
Shopping.
Yeah.
Shopping.
Y'all named the dance. It's called the shopping
I didn't
cart.
name it. It was out there.
So that's
Stick with what you can
know.
go,
So that's
right?
where we first connected. And then from throughout the season, just playing, just being both with Adidas. So we in the summer we do our commercials and have a little bottle there. When I got traded, what's so funny is when I got traded, I was already in Orlando before the trade actually went through. Like
That part of the story.
huh?
What's that part of the story?
When I got wind that I'm possibly getting traded and it was going to go down, I took a pair of shoes, left Nick's house, and I went straight to the airport, bought my own ticket, no bag, just a pair of shoes, and was already in Orlando while they were playing the game.
Was this coming off the finals? So you knew what you had to work with.
Yeah. Like, as then, so many trades happened, it was like, okay, this is about to be phenomenal. Because it's the most talent I was around.
Yeah.
It was
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
I was like, man, stop this good flow.
Because the team that went to the finals, they broke up real quick, and you would say like, why am I not just running back?
Yeah, I was upset about that. I was very upset because I thought we had a chance to win. And at the time it was like we were going to get better players. And so I was like, all right. But I was upset because I'm like, man, we just went to the finals. And we did have some old guys, like skip to my little Anthony Johnson, Tony Petit, those guys. So I hated it, but then once we got killed and everybody else, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I know if you remember Brandon Bass.
That's what I was like, with the team, to be honest, the team was talented. Like, when we first got there, you got Jason Richardson coming, me, and then you had Turk coming back. So you have a nice starting unit, but your bench was full of shooters. You got me, JJ Redick, Ryan Anderson. So you have a group that's going to sit here and go up and down. Quinn Richardson. So when we first got there, we lost the first game, trying to figure out each other, and then from there we went on a 9-0 run. We was beating just everyone. And then Stan came.
He has a theory on Stan. I don't know if you know this.
So you wasn't there on the exit league, my exit league? No. Well, I did. If I didn't get an amnesty and we all stayed together, he wasn't playing me. Because, I hit him with the reality. Like, listen, you're a great X's and O's guy. Like, out of timeout, you have great plays. You're a bad people person. You want to hold too much control, so, that's when I was like, you didn't let Dwight be a leader. Well, he's not a leader. You never gave him a chance to be the leader. So at the end of the day, all he did was just babysit the rest of us. Oh, don't worry about it, don't worry. So, if we're fucking up, but we hate you so much, what can he do? Like, he already seen you eat this up, so he just, come on, don't worry about it, Turk. Instead of saying, y'all, Turk, you can't do that shit, stop making that. Like, you didn't let him be a leader because you wanted to be, and you were so brutal to everyone that we was awful.
Yeah, y'all, okay, so that he right. So it's kind of like good call, man. Like, Stan was like really yeah. So for me, it's like, I can't be like stern, hey man, you do that because we already got somebody like me. So for me, it's like, all right, I gotta come in. Yeah. So it's like, I can't be this team having to go like this.
Yeah, you take it as all, he's too childish, but me coming from, DC, the locker room is bad cop, good cop. So you have Karan, who's gonna be a tough guy, Antoine is neutral, I'm the goofball. So you got all three elements. So if they're not fucking with, Karan, they with me and Antoine. If they're not fucking with me, they with Karan. So the locker room has its leaders. Well, in this locker room, Stan was such a bad guy that nobody else actually had a chance to do anything. So if we see Turk fucking up, usually you would say, yo, hey, quit that shit. Like, you police each other because you gotta remember, fucking up, and we're like, don't even worry about it. Just play a little hard. And you just sitting there like, that's not supposed to work.
For a coach, that can also turn as a youth, right?
But that's why you see he gets fired every few years. Like he's a builder coach. If you have a young team that needs direction, he's good at that. Put discipline in them. Like I thought for our team, we was practicing way too long. We didn't really have days off. We didn't really have shoot-arounds where we go in there, get shots. It was practice. Fucking going to the conference room, practice. Like, it's like, this wears down old players.
And mentally drain us, which is drain you a lot. Because you're like, man, we need a break. Like, we really trying. There's so much. It's like information, like overload. Like, everybody play, which is good. Some guys didn't even play. So it's like, why would one of these dudes play? He's never going to play.
Who was it? Chucky Atkins. That would go balls out in practice.
Oh yeah, that was Chucky. No, but that was with Washington.
No, I know, but for a player like that.
No. Yeah, but Chucky played a little bit. You're talking about number 15.
Yeah. The
14 to 15 guy. We went through what his possibility was.
Correct.
You're like, wait, what?
And he not even.
This motherfucker on IR, bro. He has no chance of fucking making it at all. But we had a scouting report for him. Like it was like a playoff scouting report, not an everyday. It was more college style than NBA style.
Yeah, and I think that is exactly what he is. Maybe more of a college coach, work with young players, push them, grind them, kick them through the grind at all times. But as a pro, he said this before, you want a player's coach. A guy that understands
What's so funny is when I got there, it was like this. He didn't match the organization. Because, coming from, Golden State, where it was still new, and then going to Washington, where, Ernie was trying to figure out how to keep the players in the arena, how to make it comfortable for players. That wasn't known then. Like, if you want the players to stay in the gym, make it comfortable for them to always want to be here. When I got to Orlando, it was heaven to me. Like, it's like I'm looking. You got breakfast. You got a chef for breakfast. Then you have lunch. You got the chef. So it's like, and then if it's game day, you got pregame. If you're going on the plane, you got dinner after. So if you have a game and you're leaving, you get 4 meals.
And all those things was not there until we got there. We had fought so hard to even get there. Because it's like Dan Jarrell would tell me, like, we need certain things. Like, everybody can't afford a really good chef. Everybody can't afford to get 5 meals that they need a day, the right type of meals. You know what we're trying to do. So can y'all help us provide that? Because this is going to help us get to the next level. And a lot of teams don't think that way. They only thinking about, well, these guys are millionaires. Let them do what they do. But the teams that are successful, they make sure that they keep the players in the arena.
Yeah.
It's smart.
Because, think about it. You're 21, 20 years old, 19. I just finished practice. You really think I'm going to hold? Yeah, I'm going to eat fast food. So, I think that the upper management started learning that, okay, we need to just make it comfortable for them to stay in there.
Who was it in Orlando that brought that in? That was you?
Yeah, that's what I said, because upper management doesn't really know it. Because remember, they came from where, they were working out at YMCA's. So they didn't really have this experience where, to make it comfortable. It's like the Clippers, what's so funny is the Clippers just got their arena, a couple years ago? Their own arena?
Yeah. They used to train at the Spectrum.
Your NBA team training at the Spectrum.
That was Donald Trump.
No, but I'm just saying, just think about it.
Yeah.
But that's what I said, think about the concept. Your team is training at the Spectrum Club. What is the chances of them actually ever going there early to get shots or staying later to get shots? 2 a.m. to get shots? No, you wouldn't have, there's no work ethic. Like, they're not going to go there with the public. And then they can't get into the main arena, so how are your kids, how is those players were going to get better?
And it shows with the team. like if you see the teams that are really good, they're really good because everybody is in the gym. Golden State, they always in the gym. They get their work in. But a lot of the teams that are not as good, it's because they didn't have a facility. Like you look at Philly now, they good. They good, but they good because they got a place to go to night in and night out, and they cater to the players. Like it's not saying the players are in control, but they are in control. If you don't let them have control over what they need to be successful, then you won't have a successful team. And you look at Philly, your boys like to work. And so they base it off of hard work and dedication, and those guys are in the gym. But when you have a team that's not in the gym like that, they won't be successful.
And really that comes down to culture. So maybe it's not one player in particular that's calling this out, but they recognize no one wants to come here. Like that was the thing with the Clippers. They ever get free agents? No one. I mean, you're LA, you're a major market, but you go there, it's like they're in high school.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like teams are getting better now.
Yeah.
Like when we first got in the league, it was, you know, it's. As I said, it wasn't really, you know, we didn't have a players' lounge. You know, it was just come in the gym, get your shots, and get the fuck on out of here, get to my house. You know, that was just the whole thing. And then, you know, eventually, you know, okay, got a players' lounge, got a movie theater. I don't got one at home.
Oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. Oh wow.
That's also when you're 19, 20 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And you live there. It's not
That was
just
a brain fart, bro. I didn't even want to shoot that. I was trying to,
Right.
And that's
I
what
was trying
I
to
don't
do
think
something
that's
else.
what organizations understand. The smart organizations probably understood that. You know, we need to, you know, make it kid friendly because we have more kids than we have adults. Because you know, when I first got on the team, it was like, you don't want to hang out with me. Yeah, you don't want to hang out with me, you know. So it's like, yo, Jay Rich got his family. Yo, Troy, he's at the strip club. So it's like,
That's when you get in trouble.
yeah,
Because you bored. Like, I promise you, like when I was 7, like when I first got in the league, I was 18, I started 19. And I played with Stacey Ogden, Brady Hill, Calvin Cato, all these guys that's been named for it. So it's like, what am I going to do for real?
Oh,
Go
sorry.
to Walmart? I don't know what to do.
I just feel like you look back at it now, you're like, man, I was just so damn young. How did I get through that?
You know, so funny. If you look at the guys that comes in at a certain age, they still have the personality they had when they first came. Because you got to remember, you don't grow. You don't grow. Like if I'm 18 and I came in. And
No way, but 56% on Kemba?
When I get older, younger players are still coming in. So I'm relating more to them than a guy who's 36, 37. So, you know, at 24, if I come in at 18 and this guy's 27, I don't have a relationship with him. So the older we get, I still don't have one with him. So I just travel backwards.
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, you just travel backwards to the guys who remind you of you.
Benjamin Button, right?
Yeah. You know, but that's just how it is. You just travel backwards because you never had the relationship with the older
Yeah, and
guy.
I think that's what people don't really see is when you're in high school, when you're coming up, you're a gym rat. If you're really good and you get to the NBA, it's because you lived in the gym. You didn't do, like, guys don't go to the club. You don't hang out with friends on Friday and have a tournament, travel, the gym, up early, getting shots on. And then when you get to college, same thing, really. I mean, a little bit more of the college life or whatever. You didn't have the college life, but, like, so then you're still, when you're in the NBA, same thing.
Not really.
Well, until a certain point.
The NBA, you have money.
Yeah, I was gonna say that changed.
So
right.
you know what ends up happening is you're sitting there and you're like, you have so much time and now so much money to try not to get in trouble.
Yes, you got responsibility. I think in college you got the opportunity to make the decision of being a kid, but you miss that whole gap from college to the NBA. You're going straight from high school. So now it's like you don't know what it's like to be a kid. You don't know what it's like to be the same. You gotta grow up. And then until you like, but I'm still 18. Yeah. Because I be thinking in my head, I'm 33, bro.
He's not that old. Well, I mean, he's about 15.
Yeah, coming in. I mean, when you gotta remember coming in so young. Like I forget you did come straight out of high school.
So it's hard to. I still be thinking that I'm still coming out of high school. So I hang with all the young guys, and it's just like I can play with them. They don't give me some protection, and it's just hard. You don't know what.
It's you literally don't grow. You're Peter Pan in a sense. You're literally Peter Pan in a sense. Like, you know, it's like LeBron. I guarantee if you get LeBron away from the cameras, he's still the same goofball he was. Then he's just forced to be a certain way in the camera because at the end of the day, you don't really.
Well,
like Iverson, the way he came in, the way he played, and the way he is now, it's the same person. This is it. The person doesn't change you. When you step into that league, that's who you are mentally.
But it can change you, for sure.
Yeah, change it. I mean, you get wiser, older, but your character is your character. So, you know, if you didn't get to build a character with, you know, high school, going to college, and learning how to be responsible. You got to remember, you go from no responsibilities to responsibilities. Like I got to look for a house. I got to. Mom, come. Now your whole parents is coming out, and now you got to find out a financial advisor. You pay the bills. I don't want to do all that bill shit. You know. So you try to figure out how to take all responsibilities back off your plate because it's like I just want to play basketball. Yeah, I want to play basketball and buy the shit that I always dreamed of.
But nobody wants to do this. You're buying everything.
They don't want to tell you no.
Come, Kobe.
Okay, that. I wanted to have every car in the world.
Just because they said don't.
Yeah, every car. I had killer houses with no reason. Now you look back and you like, well,
I was 18. Yeah.
Not to mention, we all would do it. If you're 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, that's what I said here. Athletes get the most money at the wrong time. Right? Wrong time in their career. You get it when you don't know nothing about money. They're like, well, you know, you get these financial guys, they rob you. Yeah. They're going to rob anyone who's 18, 19, 20. I went to school for basketball, to be honest. I didn't go there for learning accounts. And so when they showed me a paper, it's like, oh, okay. I spent $300,000. Oh, okay.
A lot of money. You look at that as, that's $300,000. I got $2 million, right?
Yeah, it's like $300,000.
But like, how am I gonna be like, oh nah, I only spent $200,000. What is the extra $100,000? Hey, no.
That's
just looking at
how they get you. They add on.
There should be.
That's me.
There should be a way that you're not allowed to get all of your money up front just to protect you, or some way to protect you, because you don't understand anything dealing with money coming in. How to save. Well, I would say at least when these kids are in school, they should have a course on, financial literature. And, just learning. Another thing is just learning contracts. Because we don't understand what's really in those contracts. Because we can't speak that language. So now we got to hire an attorney, which means we got to pay attorney fees. Then we got to have an agent. Then we got to pay agent fees. So we losing almost 60% of our money before we even get it. Because we don't know, what I'm saying? And then when we want to get a trusted advisor, they might take from us. Then we get friends. They definitely gonna take for us because they looking at it like, this is a big bag of money. And he not paying attention to it, so go ahead and take a couple of dollars here and there. And then that's when you see all these stories with financial advisors, friends taking a chunk of people's money. And now we gotta sue them for it. Because we don't understand, because we're still thinking like a kid coming in 19 years old. Like, just think about it. 19. You got your own first house, you're a millionaire. Everybody in the world knows who you are. So it's just like, you can do whatever you want. Then you look up and you like, all this stuff. Yeah, like, God damn, I bought a fish
bought a Shark Tank. What the fuck was I thinking about at that time?
Sounded cool at the time.
It sounded cool at the time. Shark Tank, little sharks up in there. You know, 200,000. Do it. I got it. Do it. Somebody's like, I could have built that for 80,000.
You like,
I should have shopped around.
Yeah, should have shopped around.
But really, that's part of the aging process for an athlete. Is like, you're 18, 19 years old, you're the leader of the franchise, right? A franchise player, and then fans want you to take a picture with their 12-year-old kid. Like, shit, you're 6 years older than that kid. You're closer to the kid than the adult, but you're looked at as an adult.
Yeah. It's I think the problem usually is we get the money, we have our parents.
but we don't want to listen.
But we don't want to listen to them anymore because we the big fish now. Yeah. So you ain't telling me shit. You ain't telling me shit. I'm the millionaire in this family.
Yeah.
Close that goddamn refrigerator. I couldn't wait to say that line. Close that goddamn refrigerator.
I couldn't wait to tell my dad this is my house. Can't talk to me like that. We big in here. And my dad was like, "What you say?" I was like, "Oh, nothing. It's my house. I'm just saying."
But as I said, we dream of those, so it's like we get our money, it's like it's hard to go back to our parents and say, all right, help me along here. We don't even know if they know anything about money.
They probably don't.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, let me just pay somebody smart. And you're like, oh, whatever my mom wants, get it. Here's my, assistant, you can speak to him, and that's where the assistant's like, right? So I'm the middleman.
Sheets, dog.
Yeah, Dwight need 100,000 going to the wall. Man, go ahead and put it in my account. You start having shit like that. It's like we're so detached. Like people are like, how do you not look at your accounts all the time? I'm playing. I'm trying to get better. I'm focused on basketball.
Because that's what y'all told me to do.
Yeah, like I'm sitting here working out 3 times a day, training. I got this. Like I don't have time to be looking at sheets of paper that I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing.
Everybody tell you the same thing. You gotta make time. And you like, okay, but I still gotta make time for this basketball that I'm playing. Because if I don't, somebody else gonna come and try to take this spot. So you're not actually thinking like, all right, you put on my business plan for 2 hours a day and straighten out all my stuff. Because you're thinking, all right, I just came back home from this West Coast trip.
Come on.
I gotta see this girl real quick. You thinking about everything else except how to take care of my money. You know what I'm saying? You're not even understanding the real value of the money that you have. Because nobody's gonna talk to us of certain things like stocks and bonds and how to invest your money, how to just keep your money, and how the fact that since we already making so much money, we can just take the money, put it in the bank, and let it grow that way. We always taught it.
The Instagram logo, 500 to 5,000. Like, really?
Looking at it like, you know what?
Might be right. It sounds good.
You give him $500,000. The next thing you know, you out $500,000, which is really $1 million.
Yep.
And that hurts. And it hurts.
And it don't hurt until
That's 500,000 out of your account.
When you got 20 million, 15 million, you don't look at it like that. You got to remember. All right, say a kid came in, let's say Zion. Let's say he signs a $100 million shoe deal, right? 15% off the jump goes to the agent, right? So he loses 15%. And then now you got taxes. So out of that 100, you're really making what, 45? But in his mind, it's 100. I made 100 million. So he's gonna spend it like 100 million. That's the problem that we don't grasp. That no. When this 10-year deal is over with, you only made 40. You're gonna only make 45. So if I spend $10 million on my mom's house here, this year, this and this and this, by the time you get to year 5 or 6, you done already spent your whole money. Now you're going $40 million, $60 million in debt that you're taking out of your contract, not even doing. And that's what ends up happening. Like most rookies, I can say this, most rookies are usually broke by the time they get to the second year. Because Because you gotta remember, you gotta buy, like, like, what was your first deal? What did you buy first? Mom house? Oh, it's your mom house. So you buy your mom, did you buy it outright or did you have to get it financed? Okay, so, shit.
That was like 800 racks.
Oh, yeah, you're in Atlanta. Yeah, so you get
The LA market.
Yeah, so like, you know, think about it like,
Right.
like, okay, so like Zoe, right? He bought a $4 or $5 million house. So, remember, when he first got in the league, he don't have, that check didn't come $5 million like that. So, he has to get a loan. So he put $1 million down, get a loan for the other phone, you know. And then, if he pays it off, or if he just paid $5,000 monthly, and then 8 years later, he realized, oh shit, I owe $4 million on his house. Nah, we're gonna let this motherfucker go into foreclosure. We'll sell it. You know, that's what ends up happening, but you buy your mom house and you gotta get yourself something, buy her a new car, buy you a whip. You done ran through your first year money already.
You're probably not buying just one.
Now you're already in the year two's money still on year one. Just now you gotta buy furniture. And then now you finally got yourself a house. So by the time you get by the time your 4-5 years is up, you're like, whoa, where the new deal at? Whoa, the new deal.
Now everybody's not planning to necessarily win, they plan to get a country. So that's when you see selfish basketball. So it's kind of like all full circle. So I think the first thing you really got to do is understand what you're getting into. But you really can't understand it because you've never been there. And your parents never been. It's a whole world to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I think the NBA has a lot of programs to try to help you, but it's something that you gotta go through. It's like the rookie wall. You gotta go through the wall.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you feel. No, I ain't going through no rookie wall. I'm in shape. You don't hit the wall. It's the same thing when it comes to financial stuff. You're gonna have to figure out how to do this. It's hard because you've never done it. You don't have time. It's like, I would say the one thing about the NBA, you get the distraction from just life itself. For so long, you're busy in a schedule. Wake up, make sure you eat, make sure you stretch and get all your work in. You gotta do a day to work on that stuff. And you gotta clear it, and you gotta think. So it's like, you can't miss out on life itself. You're so busy. That's what
Yeah.
But you don't remember it happens because you're so caught up.
You're moving so fast.
So fast. Like, the other day I was in my house and I was this person. I don't know who this person is. It seems like it just happened so long. And it's just life is just going by so fast. It's so balanced.
Tens of millions. You know what? The podcast world is
because you're thinking, all right, I just came back home from this West Coast trip. You know, I'm 19. I got to see this girl real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you thinking about everything else except how to take care of my money. You know what I'm saying? And you're not even understanding the real value of the money that you have. You know, because nobody's ever taught us, you know, certain things like stocks and bonds and how to really invest your money, how to just keep your money, and how the fact that since we already making so much money, we can just take the money, put it in the bank, and let it grow that way. But we always taught coming in, hey man, you take this by $500,000, I can turn this into $1 million company.
The Instagram logo, 500 to 5,000.
Like, really? Looking at it like, you know what? He might be right. It sounds good. He give him $500,000. The next thing you know, you out $500,000, which is really $1 million.
And that hurts.
And it hurts. It don't hurt until
At $500,000 out of your
no,
account. That
when you got 20 million, 15 million,
Yeah,
you don't look at it like that. You got to remember. All right, say a kid came in, let's say Zion. Let's say he signs a $100 million shoe deal. So you buy your mom. Did you buy it outright or did you have to get it financed?
go up to the arena, you know, the banners are of you, and there's so much attention on you at all times.
You know, and that I think that's the like if you listen to an NBA player, like if you followed him, you'll get the same two things from everyone. Their last, let's say, round, a little bit after All-Star break, if you're on a bad team, you're doing the countdown. Oh man, I can't wait till this shit's over with, boy. I need to start shipping my shit home. You know, I'm about to go on this vacation, this vacation. Yeah. Around August comes, like, man, I can't wait for the season to start, man. Damn, this lonely that you're bored. You're bored. There's only so, like, you're working out and doing all that, but it's like, you're bored. you're like, I can't wait for this season to come around. I can be around the fellas. We can talk that shit, get on the play. Like you start remembering what makes you excited, and that's how your actual career goes. It's like, you know, I'm so excited to get the season over with. I mean, the season going, and then now I got to get this shit over with. Yeah. Have a little fun with the family. This shit's over with. I got to get back, get away from these motherfuckers.
But you can only stay at home for so long.
But that's why, that's why breakups happen. You know, like within your first 2 years out of the NBA, because now you're sitting there looking at this person the whole time, like you have nowhere to escape. So every argument has to actually get dealt with. It's not like, oh, I gotta go. Just text me out right now. You got this to deal with, and I can't be dealing with an argument right now. Like, no, I got a game today. And then they gonna say, it ain't done in time. And so now they just build another animosity with you. And you like, dang, but I gotta play. You like, well, what about me? So it's like, it's so much. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we ask for when we want to the NBA. So we got good stuff that come with it in the band.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever gotten into this before on the podcast, but we're going to take a break and we'll get into it. We want to talk about our friends at Burrow. Just a reminder, the No Chill podcast is brought to you by Burrow, makers of clever furniture designed for real life. If your real life is like our real life, it's probably not like your real life. You're set up to spend a lot of time on the sofa the next few months, because as nice as it is to watch basketball, it's much better to watch it in the air-conditioned comfort of your living room. So Burrow, they make clever designs that are easy to set up, go through steep staircases and through narrow doorways, easy to move, and they even mean that you can add and remove seats as needed. Features naturally scratch and stain resistant fabric, sturdy hardwood frames, and soft non-toxic foam cushions. There's even a built-in USB charger, because Burrow knows the sofa is always blocking the most convenient wall outlet. It's totally customizable, so you can pick one of 5 fabric colors, 3 leg finishes, 2 armrest styles, any length. You can even add a chaise lounge or ottoman. 1 week shipping is always free, and Burrow stands by their furniture with a risk-free 30-day return period. So for fans of the No Chill podcast, it's time to upgrade your sofa to one that actually stands up to your lifestyle. Get $75 off a new sofa, a free 1 week shipping, by visiting burrow.com/nochill. That's BURROW.com/nochill for $75 off a new sofa. Thanks again to Burrow for supporting the No Chill podcast.
Yes. Hey, why you couldn't spell my shit out?
We don't need to at this point.
You could have.
If you're a fan of the show by now,
All right.
you just autocorrect for that. So yeah, we've never talked about relationships. I don't think.
No.
On the record. What type of relationship? Having a relationship as athlete is damn hard. Because like you said, you're traveling all the time. You can't give somebody your full attention even when they have your attention.
I think the best thing to do in any relationship is to keep it private, especially professional athlete. Now this is my opinion. I think you protect the things that you love by, keeping it private. I think sometimes when you're showing too much to the world, then they might not be as accepting to what you got going on. You're always going to have people that disagree with what you're doing, but I just think if you have a relationship with somebody, the more private that you keep it, the better it is for that person and for you.
It just seems so unrealistic to be 19 to 28 and actually be in a serious relationship. I mean, so much vagina is thrown at you.
It's hard.
Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, if you're the star player, if you're the star player on the team, every piece of vagina is coming to you first. And you're sitting here just, I mean, how many times can you just block before it's like, fuck it. You know what?
That one got by.
This is Beyonce right here. You know, I can't let this one go. I mean,
he's right. I totally understand. Like, he's right. Like, and then after doing it for so long, you develop this appetite.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, even when you done playing or when you feel like you want to slow down, that other side of you, that sickness, you used to call it, that sickness would be like, come back.
I haven't let you go yet.
I can't let you go. Like, this is a good time in our life. So it's kind of hard, man. You gotta really. It's the hardest thing, man. I ain't gonna even front. It's hard.
Boy, get the fuck
It's a
2K.
possibility that you can really love these people, but it's like it's so much.
It's the kid that it's like taking a kid to a candy store and saying
It's worse than
just
candy.
take one piece of candy. It's like what?
It's hard.
Like,
Yeah, I would say it's that.
I
But
get
you
the
never
concept.
want to commit to anything because
But
there's
you
so
do
many options.
commit. No, you
but
gotta
you
remember,
wanna
we
commit.
do commit. We like the concept. We like the ideal of sleeping next to someone being there for us. You know, de-stressing us.
Because you get lonely as hell. Like, it's easy to say, well, you know, oh, you a superstar, you a celebrity. Well, how are you lonely? You got people around you all the time. You can have 30 people around you and still feel by yourself. Because all the people ain't sleeping in the bed with you. And sometimes you might just want a female just to lay in the bed with you.
It's just, it's just
Like,
comfort.
yeah. Think about it. You in the locker room all day with hard legs. You know what I'm saying? You seeing people all day, like, walking in and out, like, you don't want to see them. You want to go home and look at something real nice and lay in the bed and be like, damn, this is a good life. Like, I'm with one of the finest girls in the world. And so you like, you don't ever want that to end. But then you realize, like, you really gonna still be alone. You can have all the girls in the world, but you still could be alone, so it's hard.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I tried for like 2 weeks. You know, it's like, no, serious. It's like one of those Detroit, Milwaukee, Minnesota trips. You know, out of Memphis. I don't know anybody there anyway.
It's cold up there.
So I'm
You
like,
gotta
you know
keep
what? I'm
warm.
not gonna fly anybody out. You know, just let me go ahead and try this new me. You know. No, it's stupid. Like, you know, it's stupid. Like, yeah, like she's a singer, and she's like calling wanting me to bust her back out. And you, like, no, you're not her, you know. So I'm going ahead and take this her, you know. And it's just one of those. It's
Pretty much half.
There's so many coming. The older you get, you start blocking a little bit, you know. You start blocking. But when you're in that young age, come on, that's
Right, you're young and it's all coming at you. So
But
you got so much
think,
money.
too, you gotta think. You since you done built that appetite so high because you came in at 18, just like you said, you still didn't grow in that area. That's the area that it's hard to grow out of because you still feel like you can relate to all the stuff you did when you was 18, 19. So you're not thinking like, man, this could possibly mess me up. You thinking, oh, it's just whoever the person is. You're not thinking that way because your mind hasn't grown up to what's going on around
you
the
don't
world.
think of consequences.
It's kind of like somebody that's been in jail. You know, when they go in jail at 2004, when they come out, they still think it's 2004. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be the same thing for us. Like, we not understand. Like when we came into the league, there was no social media, there was no like baller alerts or TMZ Sports or shade rooms, and none of that stuff. It was just we gonna do what we do, and ain't nobody gonna ever know. But now it's like you gotta watch every little thing that you do, and then the people that you really care about, you really want to protect them. But then it gives you this false sense of trust because you don't really know who to trust. But at the same time, you're like, I want to talk to a lot of people, but you can't trust them.
So it's funny, I be in a DM like this, I be. Is this a setup? Because this is my style right here. You just be, this is my style, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to just put the eyes. Let me just put the eyes. I see you. Like, you know, that can go either way. Like, I know you, the cop, you know? But it's just, like, that was the hardest thing. Like, when I was done, the hardest thing for me was, like, wasting time. Like I had to try to figure out the waste time that was used to being soaked up. Like, you know, so it's like from like that 10 to 1, you know, then like that 5 to 9, you know, it was rough. Cause you know, I'm so used to being busy. The rest of the time is like I'm sleeping or I'm doing, like those times are not, you know.
But you're used to being on the road.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but you those times is you found ways to, but it's these times that were scheduled. You know, so now, you know, when that time comes, like you can feel that time. You can feel that shit when they're like, you're like, oh shit,
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, you know, you sit there looking at your phone, like, nobody fucking call me for nothing, no meetings, no.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right, let me go get an early lunch. You know, like early.
I think that's when a lot of players, you know, a lot of players don't talk about it, but I think a lot of players go through that stage of depression with that, especially even like the closer they get to being done playing, it's like they depressed because they don't know what to do with all the time they got, and then they start reminiscing about the long bus rides, the long plane rides, where you playing cars or talking about some stuff, or you went to this club as a team, or you had this event. Like your mind starting to go back to all of these events. So you're never present. You're either in the past or you think about the future. You're never in that moment. And so I think a lot of players, they get real depressed going through that stage because it's like, man, what am I doing? Like, what's my purpose?
What's your purpose? Yeah.
Because you never questioned that before.
Not because your purpose
right
was
there
to be great.
That's it.
Your purpose was to be great.
I gotta be the best ever. I gotta do this for myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Like it was so funny. I was looking at like, you know, when you like see like Shaq on.
Why are we
TNT
doubling?
Or ESPN, and you see all these guys.
Why?
Like,
Why are we doubling,
Why you
2K?
not relaxing for a little bit?
Yeah.
They don't want to feel that. They don't want to feel that time. They want to stay busy because at some point you start missing like teammates and all the shit talking, all the trash talking, all the fake fights y'all was going to do. You start missing that. You know, you just start, that's just part of, you got to remember it's something from high school all the way to the pro.
Yeah,
you've always had.
You've been doing this.
Oh yeah, it's AAU.
So you've been traveling, you've been playing, you've been around the same group of people your whole life, but you don't really know life. A lot of times you don't really know who you are because you've been given this false sense of who the world sees you as. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like your ego's telling you like you this. You know what I'm saying? I'm this person. Yeah. And that could even be who you are. But that's just who you've been feeding your whole life. Now when you can't feed that person no more, it's like shell shock. It's crazy.
I don't know how you tell a guy to do that naturally, because you can be like, who you are as a young player, talking about like you're always that guy. You said this before, like after you had your injury and when you were in Orlando, you were like training like you were a man on fire because you're like, I want to, or you know, it's like I want to be the bad guy, like I want to be the villain. That's not really who you are though. So if you have an injury or a trade or some moment of like, this is a challenge for me.
But you got to remember, you know, when you're going, you know, you're 15 years into the league, you got to figure out tools to keep you challenged anyway, because that's all you know is, okay, uphill battles. I need to go uphill. I need to go uphill. I need to get to the mountain. So, he missed all the season. Now, going into next season, I got to prove that,
Yeah, that's ego.
Yeah, that's it.
That's ego. Like, we shouldn't have to prove nothing to nobody. We already who we are. But we try to prove it because we like, man, I don't want people to think I fell off. I don't want people to think that I'm above. So now we steady our whole likeness geared towards trying to prove something. When in actuality, none of that stuff really matters.
So funny, and was it LeBron who said, like, I don't have, was he the one who said it? I don't have nothing to prove?
Right.
It was like, was it towards the end of the year? When he was like, they was trying to figure out like championships, like
when they did make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't have anything to prove. Like, and people hate that he said it. Because he says, hey, listen, I've done accomplished enough that I like where I'm at.
Who else?
Like, I have 3 rings. Like, I know that's he.